I remember an encounter I had right here in Ikoyi. A gentleman in a very expensive suit, clearly a corporate high flyer, came into the pharmacy. He looked yellowish around the eye, which is a clear sign of jaundice. He asked for something for a hangover and a strong sedative because he couldn't sleep. I looked at his list. He was already on BP medications, on medications for high blood pressure. I said, "Sir, your eyes are telling me your liver is kind of overworking." And adding a sedative to a body already possessing a bottle of whiskey from a hangover is like pouring petrol on an already dying fire. He replied me, "Young man," he told me, "see, it is just social drinking. I am an executive. I needed to cope with the stress of the boardroom." I told him about Majek Fashek, the rainmaker, which we will still talk about later in this video. He was a Nigerian artist, a very popular Nigerian artist in the 90s, in the 80s. He passed away in 2020. The liver doesn't care if you drink expensive champagne in Ikoyi or local gin in the trenches. It is the same chemical. It sees the same chemical, which is ethanol. Alright? If you keep coping this way, one day your body will stop taking orders from you. The young man didn't realize he was in the early stages of the erosion we saw in the rainmaker. He thought because he still had money and a job he wasn't addicted, but addiction starts in the boardroom. It starts in the boardroom long before it ends up in the hospital ward. If you find yourself needing a substance, be it alcohol, pills, or street stuff, just to feel normal or stable, you are in the hijack zone. If your eyes are turning yellow, your stomach is swelling, you are constantly itchy, you need to see a doctor immediately. It is a sign that your filter, which is your liver, could be failing. You cannot willpower your way out of a broken dopamine system. You need a professional medical detox to reset the thermostat. Additionally, don't let your environment, be it Ikoyi nightclubs, clubs, or official parties, normalize liver damage. Liver damage is liver damage, and it must be avoided. Thank you. I wanna feel the rain. Let's talk about the Nigerian artist called the Rainmaker and how the rain later became a flood. Alright, today we discuss a man whose voice was like thunder and whose spirit was as clear as Lagos morning after a heavy downpour. Majek Fashek was our rainmaker in the 1990s, 1980s. He was the artist in the limelight, in the spotlight. In 1992, Majek Fashek became one of the first African artists to perform on a late night with David Letterman. That was a massive feat in Nigerian music at the time. His 1988 hit, "Send Down the Rain," earned him his nickname Rainmaker because, according to legend, it actually rained whenever he performed the song. Alright, before going solo, he was part of different groups. He performed with Snoop Dogg, Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles. This guy was good. He was promising, alright? And he was, very, very lively. Very, very lively. But eventually the rain became a flood that washed away his health. Unlike Michael Jackson or Prince, Majek didn't pass away. He didn't die from one single pill in one night. He died from erosion. Majek Fashek's story is one of the most heartbreaking in Nigerian entertainment history. He moved to the United States in the early 90s as a superstar. Somewhere along the line, the pressure of fame and personal struggles led him into the arms of the big two, which is alcohol and stimulants. For years, Nigerians watched as our hero transformed from a vibrant, healthy man into a shadow of himself. He was in and out of rehab centers and hospitals from London to Lagos. Oh my! Most people think addiction is a lack of willpower, but we know it as a neurological malfunction. Think of your brain as a thermostat in a house. Normally, the thermostat keeps the temperature comfortable. This is your happiness level. When you eat good food or have a hit song, the brain releases a chemical called dopamine. Drugs like cocaine and alcohol don't just turn up the heat, they break the thermostat. They flood the brain with 10 times more dopamine than natural activities. To protect itself, the brain morphs its receptors. It becomes harder to feel happy naturally. Eventually, the brain starts to think the drug is oxygen. It prioritizes the drug over food, family, and even music. Majek's body faced a double attack. Chronic alcohol use causes the liver to work 24/7. The liver is your body's filter. When the filter is blocked with toxins for years, it develops cirrhosis. The tissues become scarred and hard. It can no longer clean the blood or help with digestion. This leads to esophageal varices, that is bleeding in the throat, and a weakened immune system. Alright, Majek didn't just get sick, his internal waste management system simply retired. His internal simply retired. Forging ahead, Majek passed away in New York in 2020 after a long battle with various health complications, including cancer and organ failure. From a forensic perspective, his cause of death was a multi-organ collapse triggered by years of systemic toxicity. Alright, his body became so fragile that even minor infections became life-threatening.